Money is such a big topic. Abundance is such a big topic, but I want us to talk about it today on purpose and with intention. So today I want to talk about core factors for creating a more fabulous relationship with money. And I want to share a little bit more about my own journey and how that process evolved. And I want to talk a little bit about what it means to tune into the energy of money and elevate your own expectations and standards. We're going to talk about money on purpose and with intention today. And I like to talk about money as a resource. And I really want for you to start to think about money as a resource too, right? A resource to help us live our lives to its fullest expression and to our fullest potential. And for us to really think about money as a way to help us do our good work here in the world. And that, money is really just here to help us live this unrestricted, fearless, unlimited life. And I use those words very intentionally because most of us don't always feel those things, because it's really important for us to remember and tap back in to this truth that, you are a magnificent creation and, you're magic in human form, right? You are a spiritual being in this incredible physical body, right? And you have the ability to work in this 3D physical realm and create all of your desires and unlimited possibilities for yourself, right? And so remembering that allows us to tap into that energy of overflow that we can be, have, and do anything that we desire. The thing about money is that it just is. And I say this all the time, and I've been saying it even more boldly, I think, in the last month as we're working up to this abundance experience, because it's really, really key to me that, we redefine abundance. And that's where this whole series started, was redefining abundance, right? Allowing ourselves to really think about money as completely neutral, right? It's only complicated because we've invested in the complication, right? It's only hard because we think it has to be hard, right? It's only difficult because we believe it has to be difficult for ourselves. And so the deal is that money wants to work with you. It wants to be in your experience, right? It wants to be flowing to you in this incredible, reliable, consistent, and beautiful way. And yet, we don't always allow that, right? We make it hard, right? Because we don't believe that we are worthy of money, or because a lot of us honestly just haven't been given examples, right? We weren't given examples of how money could flow or what it would be like to have a relationship of ease. And I think that gratitude, right? That expectation, that standard of thanking God in advance for all that's flowing is a big piece of that. So, it isn't, when we feel that what we want isn't possible for us, then we don't know how to raise or elevate our energetic standards. And you haven't yet owned that you actually get to live a life, to its fullest potential, then you stay stuck in that place of scarcity, right? And, so I would love for you all to say an affirmation with me, and I'm going to say it out loud, and then I'm going to have you type it into the comments. Say it with me. Money loves me, life loves me, and God wants me to be abundant, right? Or change it however you want, the universe, source, whatever the word is that for you. But money loves me, life loves me, and God wants me to be abundant. I think this is so key, you guys, because this is the real truth. This is the OG. This is the original truth, right? Money is responding to us. And so, it's our job to direct how our relationship with money gets to be and how it gets to be for us, right? And so many of people are just sort of living in this default mode where they're allowing their lives to direct how they feel, right? And what's happening to them. And yet life is here to work for us. Money is here to be a part of our experience and to work with us in a beautiful way. And so it's our job to get intimate with that money, to nurture our relationship with money, to prioritize that relationship with money, and then to direct how it gets to be for us. And you guys, if you're just joining me, I'm here. I'm live from Hawaii. I'm in beautiful Maui. If you can't see, the ocean is behind me. I'm kind of like, I have this, we got upgraded to this amazing presidential suite. So I don't know if you can see how huge this patio is, but it is ginormous. And we're in a suite that is like 2,500 square feet. I mean, it's literally like a house. And, talk about abundance that was just flowing. This was like, part of the energy that I live inside of, right? We had booked a beautiful room, but they were like, oh, we'd love to give you this room. And it was like, of course, I would love to receive that. That sounds amazing. And there was a point in my life where, when I first started this journey, where like that kind of thing never could have happened for me, right? And I just wouldn't have even been like anywhere near that kind of experience because I didn't hold an expectation and a standard for myself that said that that was possible. And, when I first began my journey, it was simply admitting to myself that it was okay to want more. And that may be where you are, right? That may be where you are in this journey, is just admitting to yourself that you actually want more, that you want to have a bank account that feels really healthy and flowing and full, right? That you want to be able to do your good work, that you want to feel supported, that you want money to feel consistent, that you want money to feel stable, that you want abundance to be a part of your daily experience. We are here to expand. We are here to be abundant. And when we allow that energy to flow through us, it is such a treasure to source energy, to the universe, to God, because it's allowing God's energy, that source energy, that universal flow of source energy, of life force energy, to flow through us and express through us. And this is like not a typical idea, you guys, that gets expressed by many teachers because, most people are too scared to talk about it that way. But as you have noticed, I am completely unapologetic about talking about money and abundance because I realize what is possible once you do this work, right? And just how good it can get once you do this work, right? And, I had to break a lot of patterns about how I viewed myself, right? And what I thought was possible for myself and the expectations that I held for myself, right? About my life, my potential. And in doing so, I really set myself free and I set myself onto a different path, right? And I always say that healing my relationship with money was one of the most powerful things that I have done because it truly changed my life forever for the better in the best of ways. And, I live an incredibly abundant experience. I mean, I'm like here in like amazing, stunning Hawaii, staying in this presidential suite, which is incredible. I have been, lining up with so many different amazing work opportunities and, experiences because I have opened myself up to that flow of abundance. So, I want to, although, inside of money mastery and, and this abundance experience, this is a big piece of the work I do. And talking about money, I also just want to let you know that, when you free yourself up with your relationship with money, it's really the avenue for creating abundance. And so what that means is that, you truly allow yourself to create abundance in all forms. And that was really the biggest gift that I realized, right? It's about the money, the prosperity, yes, and the wealth, but it's also about the love and the joy and the purpose and the passion and, all of those amazing pieces that make life really rich, right? Being able to come to Hawaii for a week with my family and go on an amazing vacation and really just enjoy ourselves and play and like relish in the moments, right, that we're given. Let's talk about a few things. Let's talk about tapping into overflow. Let's talking about raising your energy with money and also kind of getting out of that energy of waiting because I think that's something that a lot of women get stuck in, right? We get stuck in this energy of like waiting for things to happen. And let's just go there first because I don't really feel like I ever get stuck in the energy of waiting anymore because I'm always taking aligned action. I'm always thinking about, I'm really tuning in and listening to the guidance around what's the best next step, right? What's the next thing that I can do? What would my higher self, what would my future self, right? The woman who's already living like all the other aspirations and dreams and things that I have in my vision for myself, what would she be doing, right? And how would she respond, or how would she be investing, or what calls would she be making, or how would she be guiding her day? And then I take action from that perspective. And so I really feel like, the energy of waiting is like a stuck energy. It's a lack energy. It's a scarcity energy. It's sort of like, oh, I'm not ready yet, and I don't know what to do, when in fact, you really do know what to do, and you're incredibly wise, and you have so many resources inside of you. And so if you can just get quiet for a moment and, even, write on the top of your journal, like, what's my best next step? And then allow the information to flow out of you. It always will, right? Here's the deal, like when you cast a desire, when you launch a rocket of, I want this in my life, and I want to have this much money, or I want to feel these ways, right? What happens next is that when you stand in the energy of that, the information has to come about what's possible for you. The other thing I would say is that it's also just about raising your energy with money, right? And this is an important concept for us to cover here, because it really, we have to be in charge of our expectations, right? We have to be in charge of what we believe is possible for ourselves. And so it starts with that. It starts with, really valuing yourself and believing in your own worth and knowing that you are worthy of money, right? That's a big piece of it. And then I would also say, that one of the best things that I have done is just to raise my energy around money is not only this worthiness piece, right? Working on the self-love piece, working on the self-acceptance piece, and valuing my work, but also it's the meditation, right? It's the guided visualization. You guys, 60% of the way that we absorb information is visual. And so and then auditory. And so that guided visualization, and you can go get tons of the free ones on my website. The reason why I record them is because it's one of the most fabulous ways, not only to actually elevate our energy just in 10 minutes, release all that resistance, allow it to melt off our body, and then like take us up to a whole nother vibe. But also it starts to subtly shift the expectations that we're holding. It starts to shift the beliefs around what we think is possible for ourselves. It starts to shift how we interpret money and abundance and what it actually means, right? So we can actually go from believing it's something that like other people have and there's not enough to, oh, wow, like money just is, it's a neutral resource. It could be consistent in my experience. Raising of your energy with money is going to start to tap you into this feeling of overflow. The other thing about tapping into the feeling of overflow is starting to really get present with, where do you already have abundance in your life? Where is that experience of more than enough really present for you? And so I recommend that everybody here actually start to, write some of that down for themselves, right? Like get in your journal and start to write around where you are already experiencing overflow. Where do you have an overflow of love? Where do you have an overflow of kindness in your experience? Where do you have an overflow of appreciation for things? Where do you have an overflow of abundance, right? When have you ever experienced an overflow of money, and how did that feel for you, right? And then maybe even just visualizing yourself into the future of being in that position where you are that wealthy woman, where, the millions of dollars have manifested in the bank. And what does that feel like to be in that overflow, right? What are the emotions of that? How are you acting? What do you look like? Who's around you, right? Really getting into that visual for it, and the feelings and the emotions, right? Because then it's not about going back and kind of like redoing the vision all the time. It's really about just allowing yourself to tap back into those emotions on a daily basis. Sometimes maybe even like 2 or 3 times a day, where you just like close your eyes, take a few rounds of breath, where you like inhale for 4 counts, hold at the top for 4 counts, and then exhale for 4 counts. Allow yourself to breathe in that white healing light with that breath, and really feel the feelings of being in overflow. Feel the feelings of being in harmony with money. Feel the feelings of being in harmony with abundance, right? That's going to tap you into that overflow.